Well, the jobs figures and NAB's trouble with the ACCC were the main event, but it's been a busy day on the markets. For his take, I spoke to Geoff Beeston from Lonsec. Geoff Beeston, thanks for joining Lateline Business.
Good to be here, Bridget.
A solid rally. How much of it was due to the stronger than expected employment figures today?
Well, look, we had some great figures out this morning, Bridget, seeing the employment rate dropping from 5.3 to 5.1%, well above consensus. You immediately saw capital inflows into the Australian dollar, with the dollar jumping by about 0.5 cent, and you also saw the ASX 200 jump up about 12 points. That, of course, put a bit of momentum into the banks, which carried us through into the afternoon. The financials were up about 1.67% by the close of the day. Of course, you also have to take into consideration that the Asian markets had a reasonably good day, with a surprising figure off the South Korean index following their announcement of potential trade sanctions against Iran this morning.
Now, oil and gas producer Santos has announced it's going to sell down its stake in the $15 billion Gladstone LNG project in Queensland. What are investors worried about? Their shares dropped quite a bit today.
I think the market really viewed the price as just being too low for the equity in this project. There's a lot of expectations built into Australia's coal seam to LNG projects, and I think the market was just basically disappointed with the price. Santos shares off about 7% today.
Let's move to the gold sector, and Avoca Resources is the latest to attract a takeover offer.
Absolutely. I think the gold sector has been the darling of the market in the last few weeks following the initial takeover of Andean Resources, the takeover bid there. Of course, again, Avoca shares disappointing today, down about 4%, with the scrip bid from the Canadian mining company. The issue I think investors again have is that they're looking for a higher premium, given what's been happening in the company-specific news, as well as the fact that from a macro level, the gold sector looks extremely appealing as the US government continues to speculate as to putting further liquidity into global financial markets.
And Woolworths has put out its annual report. Did it shed any light on conditions in the retail sector or what they're expecting?
Well, I think, Bridget, to answer that question, conditions are extremely good in the retail sector at the moment. We've got low price inflation, and I think what you're going to see is, although Wesfarmers has been continually grabbing market share, we've still seen Woolies posting solid EBIT margins and maintaining their return on equity. A few surprises there, of course, that Luscombe, CEO Michael Luscombe, advised that he might be looking at alternative income streams such as financial services company. So that could be a very interesting space to watch over the next short while.
And how did Woolworths share price react?
It traded fairly flat today, but we have seen very strong buying off the back of the announcement of the $700 million off-market buyback. So Woolies has been a very strong performer. So perhaps you're just seeing a little bit of profit taking today.
Geoff Beeston, we'll leave it there, but thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure, Bridget.